What's happening, Dolphins fans, and welcome to episode 1 of Dolphins News and Notes 5-pack edition. So, we're going to get right into it, but on your way in, make sure you guys are hitting the like button, subscribing if you're new, sharing this video, and get in the comments after the video and let me know what you guys think of the new layout, new setup, some of the new content that we're going to be trying to get done around here. So let's go ahead and start this whole thing. We're going to do an off-season notes, some of the stuff that's going on right about now, today, and some of the things we're keeping an eye on and some of the things we're, looking forward to with the draft coming up and what potential changes could be coming down the pike. So we'll start with our very first issue to get this cooking, and that's draft comp picks, right? The Dolphins had some players leave the team last year, and we're going to get a little bit of draft compensation back for it. When we're talking about the guys, we're talking about Robert Hunt. We're going to be getting expected third-round pick back for him. Christian Wilkins, who we could have got higher, but because he went down with injury, we're expected to get a fourth-round pick. And then Deshaun Elliott, him leaving the Dolphins and playing as much as he did with the Pittsburgh Steelers, we will receive a seventh-rounder for that. So there is some draft compensation coming out, and it's going to be really needed because the Dolphins are having a lot of things come up here directly. And that brings us to our second issue, lost players, right? And now there's definitely a list of names here that we could go through. Some names like Calais Campbell ain't going to be here. Kader Kohu, which is a restricted free agent, but the Dolphins still need to re-sign him. Terrell Dotson, who you guys know was a late season addition, made his presence felt. I'm hoping they get him back, but again, could potentially be a lost player, somebody to look to add, in the draft with maybe these compensation picks. I don't know, but I do know that other guys like Isaiah Wynn, these are, we have a lot of problems here at our O-line, and we might want to consider moving off of Wynn and getting somebody else. I don't know. He can't seem to stay healthy. But one of the biggest names of free agency, one we're going to hear a lot about when it comes to the Miami Dolphins, because they're probably not going to sign him, I don't see how they can afford it, is Javon Holland. Now, Dolphin fans this year off of Javon Holland for good reasons. He's had some health problems staying on the field. He's put up very good numbers, but also has been underwhelming at times. And but there's going to be a massive, massive market for him in free agency, and he's going to get the bag. PFF has him ranked as the third best pending free agent at this point heading into the summer. PFF, one of their guys, had this to say about him. Holland has ranked as one of the 5 highest graded safeties in 2 of the past 3 seasons in the league. His body of work more than speaks for itself. Now, again, I'm not going to shed a tear for the loss of Javon Holland, especially because, he's going to demand a lot of money. We're in the same kind of boat of when we lost Robert Hunt. We like the guy. We know he's productive. I think I like Robert Hunt more, but we also know that these guys are pricing themselves out for the Miami Dolphins. And sacrifices are going to be made. Right? I don't hate this guy, but I can live without Javon Holland around these parts. And he's going to get the bag, as PFF pointed out. They're third best free agent. This is going to be on a lot of people's lists. So probably not going to see him. Now, when we go back to the draft compensation, and we're losing even like Jordan Poyer and stuff, these are things we got to keep in mind, right, of what we're going to be looking towards in the draft coming up, which that'll bring us to our next topic. Right? Miami Dolphins draft a QB. Will they? Are they looking to draft a QB? Well, it's important to the team. We know Chris Greer had said something about needing to address the backup quarterback situation. The numbers tell a different story when Tua's there than when Tua's gone. And they're more than happy to tell you about it. Let me me see if I can pull them up here real quick. I just had the dang thing. Bear with me a moment. Here it is. So, in 2024, when Tua was on the field with the Dolphins, they averaged 2.43 points per drive, which is ninth, and they averaged a 24.8% touchdown rate, which is ninth, and they were averaging 35.3 yards per drive, which is ranked eighth. Meanwhile, with the offense without Tua, was averaging dead last in those same categories, 1.1 yards per drive, 9.6% touchdown rate, 21.8 yards per drive. So, again, now listen, these are statistics that to me are empty stats. They don't tell the story, but these are the type of numbers and type of things that people are going to cape about, or at least organizations looking at, saying, well, we don't need to address the quarterback position as far as a starter goes, especially with a guy that we just paid a bunch of money to. But we do need to get someone behind him, because we do know the team is falling off of a cliff when he's not out there. Now, to me, I think the Dolphins should move completely off of Tua, but I think if we're being honest with ourselves, that's not happening, at least not this year. And according to Marcelo Lewis-Jacques, he had this to say: Miami Dolphins are not expected to draft a quarterback with the 13th pick in the 2025 draft, but it is possible that they may add a developmental quarterback in the later rounds. So that is certainly something I think we'll keep our eyes on when the draft is coming around. I think they should listen. To me, I would trade up the draft and get Cam Ward. I think he's going to be the next Jaden Daniels. A lot of people say I don't know what I'm talking about when I say stuff like that, but we'll see where this video sits next year if Cam Ward is taking the Giants to the damn playoffs or something like that in his rookie season, putting the team on his back. But oh well. That brings us up to our next topic. A lot of off-season stuff happening around these parts. And we have potential exiting coaches. Now, Josh Boyer, 2 years ago, didn't work out. After Flores left, Miami Dolphins decided to, hey, we'll let Josh Boyer try to see if we can keep that Flores defense. Didn't work, right? Josh Boyer crumbling in the big moments for certain. I feel like he could put together a game plan, but I feel like in-game play calling he just couldn't do at all. And rightfully so, right? Flores was doing all the in-game play calling back when Boyer was the DC. Either way, right? Dolphins then follow it up by going and getting Vic Fangio, whom they had success with as a DC. But players, Javon Holland, and others around the building, he just couldn't get along. He was a stick in the mud. He wasn't with all the positive vibes, right? He wasn't a guy that they were feeling, even though the defense was doing damn well with all the injuries they had. So they took another shot. They went out and searched for a DC and brought in Anthony Weaver here, who Weaver is a smashing success. A smashing success. And it's gotten the eye of several teams. Chicago was looking at him. New Orleans Saints are looking at him. And in fact, New Orleans Saints yesterday asked him to come back for a second interview. Now, where will the Dolphins be if they lose their DC? How much of this draft and things of importance on the draft and what the Dolphins need to do from 2024 to 2025 could change on a new defensive coordinator coming here if we do lose Weaver? Now, one thing to also keep your eye out for, Weaver's not the only one getting looks. Our linebackers coach, Ryan Crow, is being asked by the Patriots to interview at their DC job. And he and Vrabel have a very long connection. They were together for 6 years at Tennessee. Chances are we're going to lose Ryan Crow. And I don't know about you guys, Anthony Weaver's defense did damn good, but I feel like the inside linebacker play was the best linebacking play we've had in here in a decade. So I hope we keep Weaver. I don't think we're going to be able to keep Ryan Crow. I think Vrabel's going to convince. It's a DC job. He's a linebackers coach. Why wouldn't he take that job? So we're going to see some turnover in coaching. And how's that going to affect the Miami Dolphins defense, whom we already know we're lacking a lot. We're losing a lot of players. Almost every player I said earlier in the list of our losing lost players in our second topic, we're all defensive guys except for one. Zach Seiler's the only starting caliber defensive tackle we have. Now, I know we have other needs around here. A lot of fans want to see the Dolphins go in the draft and fortify this offensive line. I say, whatever, right? Fine. You're not wrong to think the O-line is suffering. But if you think a rookie guard's going to fix all the offensive woes, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying? So, last subject on the list, Senior Bowl. So, the Dolphins, in lighter news, right? We did get an invite to the Senior Bowl. Our DB's coach, Deshaun Schneed, got a invite to go coach at the defensive backs position for the Senior Bowl, which is good. It's good to have somebody, boots on the ground, eyes in the building, looking at some of these guys in the Senior Bowl. I know a lot of people are going to be there. I'd be telling him to get a good look at Jackson Dart if he gets it. I know he's going to be there. Maybe the Dolphins. But as a lot of people are alluding to in the media, and that's coming through the building, they're not going to draft somebody in the first round. But one can only hope, right? One can only hope. Either way, a lot of stuff coming down. I know the season's over, and we're getting ready to see the NFC and AFC championship games. But Dolphins organization, fans, and alike are pivoting to 2025 because this season was lost long ago. So, yeah, guys, that's it for today on news and Dolphins updates and nonsense and whatnot. Hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe if you're new. Leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think about our draft compensation picks, what players we're losing, which ones you want to keep. Should we draft a QB, and if so, what round, right? Are we talking first round? Are we talking, see what we can try to find diamond in the rough in the fourth or fifth rounds? Anthony Weaver, he leaves the Dolphins. Who are we looking for DC coach now? What are we doing then? If Anthony Weaver leaves, we better try to hopefully get the linebackers coach as our DC. Say, Crow, don't leave. Stay here. We'll make you DC. And then also, what are you hoping they get a look at the Senior Bowl? So hit the like button. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time.